my book.
Okay.
Just give me a few seconds, or you guys can start and I can.
Yeah, sure.
Prabhuji, I can
You want to start?
recite a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtham अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तम् इदं वाक्यम् उवाचा मधुसूदनः श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकस्मलमिदम् विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन क्लैब्यम् मास्मागमापार्थ नैतत्त्वयि उपपद्यते क्षुद्रम् हृदय दौर्बल्यम् त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठा परन्तप अर्जुन उवाच कथम् भीष्मम् अहम् सङ्ख्ये द्रोणम् च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजारावरिसूदन गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुम् भैक्षमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान् न चैतद्विद्मा कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा नाजिजीविषामस्तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसमूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमा असपत्नं वृद्धं राज्यं सुराणाम् अपि चाधिपत्यम् संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेशः परन्तपः न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तम् इदं वचः श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यान् अन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासून् अगतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः न त्वेवाहं जातु नाशं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम् अथ परम् देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तां तितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न व्यतयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तस्त्वन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशी तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वम् इदं ततं विनाशम् अव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद् युध्यस्व भारत य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ त्वौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भवितवा न भूयः अजो नित्यशाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदाविनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः अच्छेद्योऽयम् अधायोऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्तानुर् अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम् तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि जातस्य हि ध्रुवमृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्मामृतस्य च तस्माद् अपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि स्वधर्ममपि छावेक्ष्य नाविकुम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारम् अपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमिदृशम् अथ चेत्त्वम् इमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि तथ स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापम् अवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् सम्भावितस्य चाकीर्तिर्मरणात् अतिरिच्यते भयाद् रणात् उपरतं मंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वां बहुमतो भूत्वा यस्यासि लाघवम् आवच्च वाधांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं तथो दुःखतरं नु किम् हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं चित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्माद् उत्थिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ तथो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम् अवाप्स्यसि एषा ते विहिता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि नेहा विक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमस्य स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर्एकेह कुरु नन्दना बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम् यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवद्यन्त्या विपश्चितः वेदवादारथा पार्थ नान्याद् अस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपारा जन्मकर्मफलप्रदाम् क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तायापहृतचेतसाम् व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्यविषया वेदा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावान् अर्थ उदपाने सर्वथा सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृतदुष्कृते तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धा विनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यथा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधाव अचला बुद्धिस्तथा योगम् अवाप्स्यसि अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्थस्य केशव स्थितधिः किं प्रभाषेत किमासित व्रजेत किम् श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यथा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहस्तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यदा संहरते छायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रशभं मनः तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषविमुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवशेर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादम् अधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्येषु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभाव यथा शान्तिरसन्धस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनो नु विधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावाम् इवाम्भसि तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः आपूर्यमाणाम् अचलप्रतिष्ठम् समुद्रमपप्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामयं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय कामान्य सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनं प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा श्याम अन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमुच्यते
Okay, wonderful. Wow. So we didn't know that Rahul can sing so nicely. Huh?
Yeah, now we got a substitute for Madhuri Mataji.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, excellent.
धन्यवाद प्रभुजी
That was excellent, Rahul Prabhu. You raised the bar now.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी
Yeah. 1 second. Somebody is here. I'm settling. Yeah. Kirti, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Please come. Please sit. Yeah. You can sit on the carpet here. Hi. Hello. What's your name? What's your name? Any parenti? Huh? Dhruv. Oh, nice name. Your name? Avyukt. Avyukt Krishna. Oh, very good. Okay, we have a new participant from today. Her name is Kirti. Yeah. And Dhruv and Avyukt Krishna. Nice names.
So,
So we have Swati with glasses, and below that Naresh, then Rahul, Kiran, and above that is Madhuri. And he's Ashok. Yeah. So you live in Samamish, right? Isakwa. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, you can come every week, same time, 5 to 7, Sunday 5 to 7. Yeah. So we are in chapter 2.
I didn't bring the Bhagavad Gita.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so you can, I'll give you Bhagavad Gita.
Sorry for the disturbance.
Hmm?
Sorry for the disturbance.
No problem. Yeah.
Dad, I'm hungry.
Okay. So this recitation of, repeated recitation of shlokas. Oh no, before that, Rahul, yeah, you did an awesome job. Yeah, very good.
धन्यवाद प्रभुजी
Yeah, very good. So more competition to Madhuri.
Sure, I'll try to sing better for the next chapter, maybe. Yeah.
Good. So yeah, so this repetition recitation of the shlokas is like, come on. Perhaps you all know about Kumon, right? Kumon Math and Reading Learning. So it's a very successful program wherein kids repeat the same worksheets every day. And the first time when I looked at that, I was thinking, what is this? They're giving, maybe by mistake, they gave a wrong worksheet. When I enrolled my daughter like 10 years ago, so she got one worksheet, and second day she got the same worksheet. I thought maybe by mistake they gave the same worksheet. Then I came to know that that is their method of teaching. It's a repeated learning by repetition. So we used to do that in our childhood also, right? The number tables and all, we used to, repeat.
By heart.
Yeah, by heart. That's how we used to learn. So, yeah. So ideally, we should repeat every day. If you repeat these shlokas every day, then you can remember well. But if not every day, at least once a week like this, whenever we are meeting, we get an opportunity to recite entire chapter. So, okay, good. Now, before we discuss 2.6, today we're going to discuss 2.6, right? 2.6, yeah. So before that, let's look at 2.50. Because last week we were discussing about art of work, right? Work as worship versus work is worship. So, and then we looked at a few verses from chapter 18, where Krishna described about working in the mode of passion, ignorance, and working in the mode of goodness. So there is a shloka in chapter 2, 2.50. Okay, let me share the screen. Yeah. So 2.50, this shloka is known as art of work. Art of work. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. The word kaushalam means art. And karma is work. When you see work as yoga, then that is the art of work. Yeah, chapter 2, shloka 50. Yeah, 2.50. So you are in chapter 2, right? Okay. So turn over a few pages. You'll see verse number 50. Yeah, 2.50. Yeah. So this verse says, Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita dushkrute tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. The art of all work. And Prabhupada says in the purport, since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Sri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. So basically, the art of work is to see work as a yoga. To see work as yoga. Now, what is yoga? Did I share this so far or no? Did
Yes,
I share
Prabhu,
the
it
screen?
wasn't shared.
It was
Yes.
shared, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, it wasn't shared.
No, it was shared.
Huh?
Agree.
It was shared, Prabhu. We can see.
Okay, it was shared. Maybe then now I stopped it. Okay. Okay, good. Forgetfulness, short memory. Yeah. Okay. So what is the art of work? Art of work is to see work as yoga. And now what is the definition of yoga?
It is not expecting, working towards it, but not expecting any result from it, especially a good result from it. And a bad result should not set us back. So it's like devoid of all expectation, but still working towards it is called yoga. Achieving that state where you are not affected by the result is called yoga.
No, forget about work. So
Mhm,
what's the definition of yoga?
To link or to connect to God.
To link
God.
or to connect to God. Yeah, very good. Yeah, yoga comes from the root word yuj, which means to
Mhm.
connect, to link, or to connect. So connecting what? Linking what? When you say connect or linking, there are always two things, right? So what are the two things here? One is living entity, and the other one is God, or Jivatma and Paramatma, soul and super soul, living entities and Bhagavan. So the process of connecting living entities with God is known as yoga. And here in this 2.50 shloka, Krishna is teaching the art of work. The art of work is when you see work as yoga. That means when you see work as a process to connect with God, then that is the art of work. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Kaushalam is art. Karma is work, and yoga. When you see work as yoga to connect with God, then that is art of work. So in the shloka also it says, right, Ube Sukruta Duskrute. Sukruta means the good reaction. When somebody will say, right, if they achieve something in this life, they say, oh, idi na pura janma sukritam. That means it is a good result of action they have done in the previous life. And if they're suffering from bad reactions in this life, they're suffering from something in this life, it is dushkruti from previous life. So ube sukruta dushkrute. That means if somebody is working in the material world, they are doing mundane work, in the bodily occupational duties, like working at Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, all these jobs, then there is always good and bad reaction. If you do a good thing, there is a good reaction. If you do a bad thing, there is a bad reaction. But and none of these, none of this work is purifying. None of this work is purifying. But the same work can be purifying if we see that work as a process to connect with God. So we discussed this last week, right? If somebody is working at Microsoft, that means they have to see that, they have to think that, okay, I'm able to earn some money from my job so that I can maintain my body and my family, so that we all can engage in devotional service. So then you are seeing that work as a process to connect with God, and also donating some amount of money, some percentage of that money, either 5%, 10%, or whatever, every month for a good cause. And what can be a better cause than propagating Krishna consciousness? No, that's okay. Yeah. So you don't look at them. Let them do whatever. You sit here. Yeah. If he comes here, that's okay. Yeah. It's bring life to the class.
Just don't want everyone to be disturbed.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So, that is art of work. So we were discussing last week about the art of work, right? So I thought of connecting this verse, which is related closely to that. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, one's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Shri Krishna in all aspects and become liberated from the chain victimization of action and reaction. So the same work, if you don't put Krishna in the center, then you're bound to go through you're bound to accumulate the good and bad reactions. But if you put Krishna in the center of whatever you are doing, whether you are a teacher, homemaker, or a software engineer, or a politician, anything, if you keep Krishna in the center, the same work can be seen as yoga. That is art of work. Yeah.
Prabhuji, quick question.
Yeah.
In this verse, Prabhupada translated Buddhi Yukta as one who engaged in devotional service.
Yeah.
But I also ran into the word Bhakti Yukta.
Yeah.
And that is also devotional service, right? So, Prabhupada is connecting from overall. So I was wondering the reason for the translating into a devotional service, Buddhi Yukta, because Krishna used the word many times maybe in second chapter and third chapter as well.
Yeah. So Prabhupada translates every type of yoga as Bhakti Yoga. So even Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, every yoga, Prabhupada refers to it as Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. So because after all, Karma, Jnana, Ashtanga Yoga, these are all different processes to connect with God. Karma Yoga is connecting with God through your work. Jnana Yoga, connecting with God by acquiring knowledge, through knowledge. And Ashtanga Yoga is connecting with God by following the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga process. And what are the 8 processes? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dharana, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana, Pratyahara, Samadhi. So I'm missing one. So there are 8 processes. Okay, that is described elaboratively in chapter 6. Okay, the 8 processes, starting with Yama Niyama, means do's and don'ts. What are the things that you should do and what are the things you should avoid to achieve perfection in yoga? And then Dhyana, meditation, Dhyana, Dharana, Pratyahara, Samadhi, and so on. So all these different types of yoga, they are ultimately connecting with God. The process is different, but the purpose is same. The goal is same, connecting with God. So that's why Prabhupada, he refers to all these different types of yoga as Bhakti Yoga only. Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is none other than Jnana Yoga. Buddhi Yoga, Jnana Yoga are same. And here he mentioned Bhakti Yoga, right? Yeah. Buddhi Yukto Jahatikha Ube Shukrita Duskute Tasmad Yogaya Yujvasya. No, not here. Naresh, where did you see Bhakti here?
Not in this verse.
Okay.
It's a Bhakti Yukta in another verse. That's 8.9 or 10. Let me see. Confirm.
Yeah.
8.10.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it's there. Prana kale manasachalena bhaktiya yukto yoga balena chaiva.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So there also Prabhupada says one who is engaged in devotional service. Okay, that's definitely Bhakti Yoga is definitely the devotional service. But here, if you look at the translations right from beginning, from chapter 1 itself, Prabhupada calls all types of yoga as Bhakti Yoga. Because if that, if Karma Yoga is not connecting with God, then it's not yoga at all. If the Jnana is not connecting with God, it's not yoga at all. And if that Ashtanga is not connecting with God, then it's not yoga. Like how we see Hatha Yoga, Vikram Yoga, all these yogas, right, in the commercial space. So they are not actually connecting with God. They are only teaching some postures, asana. So that is not yoga. But any true yoga, Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, if it is connecting with God, then it can be considered as same as Bhakti Yoga, which is connecting with God. Yeah.
So all these physical yogas, Prabhuji, they come under Ashtanga Yoga?
Yeah. The asanas and all come under Ashtanga Yoga. Yeah.
Does this quote says that anything in your life which comes in your, if you are able to connect with God, that will become minimal, or are they saying that it's going to reduce the effect if you keep bring the consciousness to connection with God into picture?
So if you bring God into your life, so what's your question?
So this is my understanding, maybe correctly if I'm wrong. Okay. So in any situation in your life,
Yeah.
it comes into your picture.
Yeah.
Include God in that situation, so that if any good or bad happens, it would be handled because you are in a consciousness with a God.
Yes.
Is that what is meant? Or
Yeah, exactly. So remember that story. I'm sure everyone is familiar with that. There was a man who was who used to walk on the shore of the beach. Okay, and then every day he used to see. Now let me try to recollect that story. The story title is Footprints. Okay, it's a very inspiring and interesting message there. Footprints. Yeah, so I think the story is like this. So this man who is walking on the beach of the shore, on the shore of the beach. So every day, when he's walking, he sees two sets of footprints. Okay, one is his footprints, and the other one, he sees behind him, he sees another set of footprints, and he believes they are footprints of God. And one day he's in so much trouble, and he's not seeing the other set of footprints. He's walking on the beach, beachfront, but he's not seeing the other set of footprints behind him. So he's so worried, and he was he was lamenting so much, and then he asked God, God, every day you are walking behind me. I used to see your footprints behind mine, but today is the day when I'm in great need of you, and you are not there. So how do I understand? How do I believe this? How do I believe your existence? Do I conclude that you don't exist, or you don't help people who are in need? Then you know what God replied? God replied saying that, did anyone hear the story?
No problem.
Ashok has heard. Okay, Swati raised her hand. Okay. So what did
I
God
think
say?
I heard, but I forgot.
Okay, Swati, what did God say?
Prabhuji, because Bhagwan was holding the person in his
Yeah.
arms and he was
Yes.
walking.
So God was holding that person. The footprints that he was seeing, they were actually God's footprints.
God is there in
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So we think that God is not helping us in a situation. But just like in that story, how God is carrying that person who is in trouble in his own hands. So similarly, God is there in every situation, helping us. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So I saw this story, you know, there used to be a poster actually. There used to be a nice poster saying footprint. I saw this in my college days, or maybe right after my college days when I was struggling for jobs, right? Staying in bachelor's home in T Nagar in Chennai, Triplicane. Triplicane in Chennai. That's the bachelor's adda. So, I was really worrying about, my situation, and then I was looking for God's help. Then one day I saw this poster, and that gave me so much solace. It gave me so much peace, and gave me a lot of confidence, saying that, okay, God really helps people who are in need. Yeah.
Even if he doesn't help, he shows you navigation.
No, he does help.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, there's no question of even if he does not help. He does help. Either directly or indirectly, he does help. Yeah. And he reciprocates to the degree that we reciprocate with him. So if you show 5% love towards him, he reciprocates same amount. In fact, he does more. If we make one step towards him, he makes 100 steps towards us. So,
When last week something was going on,
I
opened Bhagavad Gita and I was reading.
Yeah.
And that shloka 9.22.
Ananyas Chintayanto. Yeah. Yoga Kshemam Vaham. Yeah.
So that gave me solace.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, God is looking after me.
Yeah.
So I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
I'm sorry, I think this is the first time I'm reading Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
So yeah, go ahead, Ashok. You want to explain?
So anyone who worships God, then his yoga kshema, he takes the responsibility of this very simple. God says like, okay, if you think about me, if you worship, then don't worry, I will take care of you.
So yeah, this
Yeah,
shloka is in 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So yoga kshemam vahamyaham. That's the last line in the shloka. That's the most important thing. So yoga kshemam vahamyaham means Krishna says, I provide what my devotees lack, and I preserve what they have. So if somebody has a facility to provide devotional service, to render devotional service to God, Krishna protects that facility. Okay, facility can be that means you are able to work, you are able to maintain your family. So Krishna protects all of that so that you can render devotional service to him. And I provide what they lack. That means if somebody does not have the facility to render devotional service, or if somebody does not have even the basic needs, the pure souls, pure devotees who always engage in devotional service to God, they don't even care about their basic needs, and Krishna provides that. There was a classic story of Arjunacharya. Arjunacharya was a saintly person. So one day he was reciting this shloka, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, E Jana Pariyupasate, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So one day Arjunacharya, he was reciting this shloka, and he was wondering, okay, here Krishna is saying that he comes personally to take care of the devotees. He comes personally to provide help to his devotees. So Arjunacharya wondered, does he really come? Does Krishna really come to help? Then while he was thinking that, then it was the time for, maybe it was a time for lunch or something. So the wife asks Arjunacharya to go to the market and get some groceries. But Arjunacharya, he was very poor, that he did not have enough money to buy groceries for that day. So he steps out in search of either some work so that he can get some money and then buy groceries. And then while he's gone out, so two boys come home. And they bring few baskets full of groceries, and the two boys give those groceries to the wife. And then the wife asks, "Who are you?" And then the boys say that your husband sent us here. Your husband asked us to bring these groceries, and in fact he has even beaten up, and they show the marks of those beatings. And then Lakshmi, who is wife of Arjunacharya, she says, "No, I don't believe this. My husband is not of this nature. I have never seen him beating up anyone." And then the two boys, with crying, they say, no, Lakshmi Mataji, this is very true. So your husband has beaten up, when we were not ready to carry these groceries, he has beaten us up and sent us home. So please take this and we will leave. So then the boys kept the groceries there, and then they leave. And then after some time, Arjunacharya comes home, and then the wife asks, so you did not inform me that you were going to send those two boys. And then Arjunacharya is wondering, who are the two boys? I did not send anyone. And then Lakshmi says, no, the two boys came and they were carrying groceries, and it looks like you have even beaten them up because they were not ready to carry the groceries. Then Arjunacharya is saying, no, are you gone mad or what? I did not send anyone. That too, I did not beat anyone. I have never beaten anyone in my life. So why are you saying this, that I have sent two boys here? And then after some contemplation, they both realized that it is only Krishna and Balaram who came and delivered the groceries personally. So
why did they say that they beat them up, Guruji? Like, I mean, he did something in his past life, or like something that hurt someone?
He scratched the shloka.
yeah,
He scratched the
yes.
shloka. He overwrite. He just on the shloka he just blackened over the
Yeah, the Yogakshema Mahamyaham. So Krishna says, I take care of my devotees, right? So then he strikes them off. Arjunacharya strikes them off. Now, as a symbolic representation to that, then the boys show the beatings on his back, on their back. Yeah. Yeah. So God, when Krishna, when he says he provides what the devotees lack, and he preserves what they have. So either he will send somebody, or sometimes he comes in person by himself. Yeah. We have seen in many cases, right? He came personally to protect Prahlada. He came personally to protect Gajendra. So we have seen numerous stories. And occasionally he sends gurus or representatives to protect his devotees.
Prabhuji, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when I'm in like satsang, or like in company of people who are reciting, or like in company of devotional service to Krishna, it's easy for me to like remember him and pray for him, and this stays for like middle of the week or until like 3 days.
Yeah.
But after that, like when I'm feeling I mean like extremely dark, this thing kind of thoughts and like negative set of mind,
Yeah.
I lose all this consciousness or all this this thing. I mean, like I forget to remember God. To be frankly speaking, so it's so how do we like believe that? How do we not believe? Like how do we remember to even pray in those dark times? Like or I know it comes with practice or it comes with like recitation, but it's like the negativeness is overpowering is much stronger than what yeah, like I have gained till now. So I mean I hope you understood what I mean. Like
Yeah. So you're asking, when you are not in association of devotees, and when you are not reading scriptures, when you are not coming to the temple, then how to remember God?
Not even that. Like even like general normal times when I'm not having that bad of a day, or like when everything is going normal.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem like remembering God at least once in a day or like many times in a day or like that. But there are times when I feel like maybe extremely lonely here, or like when I feel I have no connection here or something like that. So how do I get out of that situation? Or I know there are many resources. I know there are many other helps, and I live with my husband who's very nice and all that stuff. But sometimes it gets hard to deal with our own thoughts. So how to like remember Krishna then?
Yeah. So as you said, right, it comes with practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, several verses, he uses the word abhyasa. Abhyase to abhyas. Abhyase. What is the shloka in chapter 6 where Krishna tells how to control your mind?
One is that there are two things, Prabhuji. One shloka starts with Yeto Yeto Nishcharati Manas Chanchalam Mastiram.
Yeah, the next verse where Krishna says it is possible practice and detachment. Abhyasa and Vairagya.
Yeah.
So,
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's chapter 6, 35 verse, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grahyate.
Abhyasena cha Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grahyate. Yeah. So there Krishna is saying, yes, it is very difficult to control the mind, but it is possible with suitable practice and detachment. So anything like that, the root cause of all the problems is our mind. Okay. So there Krishna in that shloka 6.34 and 35, Krishna is particularly talking about mind. But the same principle can be applied to everything. Abhyasa, practice. So if you practice remembering Krishna, then you will remember. It is very easy to remember Krishna when you are in dark. And also if you have conviction that behind everything that's happening in our life, there is Krishna's hand. It is like Krishna has sent a tailor to customize our life. Tailors, just like how they stitch a dress customized to a person. So it is exactly like that. Krishna, whatever life is given to us, it is Krishna's customization in our life. Whatever is best for us, Krishna has sent a tailor to customize our life. So whatever is happening is perfect. In that sense, whatever is happening is perfect. We cannot say that, oh, something bad is happening in my life. Why is Krishna doing this to me? No, you cannot say that, because whatever, whether it is good or bad, everything is happening because of Krishna. Everything behind everything there is Krishna's hand. So if we have that conviction, then even when we are in trouble and when we are in dark, we'll be able to remember Krishna.
If we ask this question to Maharaj, we first start counting Mangalarati. Are you here for Mangalarati?
Yeah.
Right? Are you here for the class?
Class.
And are you only taking Kasam?
Yeah.
And, are you doing the 16 rounds?
Yeah.
Are you doing Sankirtan? Are you going for Sankirtan?
Yeah.
You do all of these things.
So this is Abhyasa, practice. When Krishna says practice in that shloka, right? This is Abhyasa, practice. So if you practice remembering Krishna, you will remember Krishna. If you practice remembering some other person, you will remember him. So whatever you practice, that you will remember.
The first step is, Prabhuji, we realize that, okay, we are diverting from the path, something like we are realizing that something is, we are not doing correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like some situations happen where we are not our true self.
Yeah.
I mean, the first step is the realization of that, okay, it is happening to me. That itself is a big thing, because many of us, we don't realize.
Yeah.
So what Madhuri Mataji is very true. She's realizing, okay, something is not correct.
Yeah.
And as you said, we can work on those things to rectify. It has happened to me also multiple times, but then I realized, okay, this is not me.
Yeah.
Something is not.
It is happening to me now also with another Microsoft.
Something happened?
Even if I want to do nothing so far, but I'm waiting
for the next phase. Huh?
Now, even if I want to chant, my mind is getting full. I can remember Krishna.
Yeah.
But I'm losing the taste because I think the force from the material.
You are with great anxiety. You are with great anxiety.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in this kind of situation, what he says, right? It's about your life, which is completely based upon your work. Right?
Yeah.
In that kind of situation, it's very difficult to be in a positive way and also think in a positive way, but it is God, because God is like a family, right? For me, I feel that God is like that father, mother, everything.
Yeah.
But in that crisis situation, it get difficult to think that there is someone who is like God. Especially God is there to me. But how do you do that? Because it's really difficult to do that in that kind of situation. How do we need to bring ourselves back and say everything happens for a reason, have a spirit of hope? But that doesn't happen. You should say that, but at that point of time, everything is so blurred out. Even God doesn't. That we don't see the God because we are confused with our own mindset. How do we come back then? God.
Yeah. Yeah. Chapter 5, Shloka 29, 5.29, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam Yatva Shantim Richati. So Krishna is saying, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the best friend of everyone. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the best friend of everyone. So when we take shelter of Krishna in every situation, whether good or bad, when we take shelter of Krishna in every situation, then it is, you start practicing. Taking shelter is a big thing, right? It has a, it's a long process. Surrendering completely to Krishna is a long process. Yeah. So you take baby steps. You take baby steps towards the surrender process. So the baby steps are like offering everything to Krishna. Whatever you do. In chapter 9, Krishna says, Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Whatever you do it as an offering to me. If you cultivate that habit, then you start developing a habit of keeping Krishna in the center. For example, you buy new clothes for your children. You give it to Krishna first and then put on them. Anything, whether clothes or book or anything. So anything you buy, huh?
That's a tradition we have, right? Anything we buy.
We used to have in India. We used to have. Yeah. Our elders, they used to do that. Yeah. They used to put turmeric and then, they used to put in front of God and then give it to us. But these days, even on the wedding invitation cards, we are not seeing those turmeric things again. Yeah. Those days are gone. But that's a tradition. Everything, if you start offering to God, then you develop a habit of keeping Krishna in the center. So once you start developing that habit, then automatically your subconsciousness mind will register that process, and then that only you will remember. Yeah, that only you'll remember. When you are in trouble, you'll remember that only.
That's the problem. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I feel is the trust with your God also gets broken, where you feel why, right? In that situation, I think that they have because God, why me?
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And why, what is the path you have taken? Are you going to take me to?
Yeah.
Is something we should cultivate.
Yeah. So instead of asking the question, why me? We should ask a question, how now? What should I do now? What should I do now? So why me? That God has already created a customized, tailored solution, tailored situation for you. It's perfect. I mean, we don't want to accept that, but it is perfect. It is perfect situation for us. And we don't know the reason why God has created that situation. So instead of asking why me, we should ask a question, what now or how now? What should I do now? How should I respond to that situation now? So then you will be calm. You will not be agitated. You will not lose faith on God. So, and that faith comes by reading Bhagavad Gita every day. Yeah.
The more we get educated, that means we are more imperfect.
Hmm?
The more we get educated, that means we still have so much dirt.
Yeah. See, this is one of the.
My niece wants to say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh hi.
Hi Rhea.
Hello.
जय कर दे जय
Jai
कर
Shri
दे
Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्णा.
Jai Shri Krishna. What's your name?
आपका नाम क्या है रिया? आपका नाम क्या है?
नाम क्या है?
रेयू नाम क्या है?
नाम तो बता दो.
नाम क्या है आपका? आपका नाम रेया है क्या?
मेरा नाम
रे.
श्रीनिवास है. तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? तुम मेरा फ्रेंड. जय जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
So your sister's son?
Sister's daughter. 2-year-old.
That's a daughter?
Daughter, yes.
Huh?
Daughter.
Looks like a son. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Bye.
I have experienced that, Prabhuji, when I'm chanting, in my mind goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And I have to realize, okay, this is not meditation. I have to pull it back.
Yeah.
And I remember that sloka. Yato nischarati
Chanchalamasstiram. Yeah.
I have to first
bring it back.
We'll go, we don't realize it is going.
Yeah.
The moment we realize, we have to forcefully bring it back.
Yeah, that's the process, even in the other organizations also, like meditative processes and other breathing techniques, right? They tell the same technique. The moment you see that mind is going somewhere, you consciously bring it back.
And I've seen like chanting very early in Brahma Muhurta or 4:30 is much better than any time in the day. It's mostly distracted chanting.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So, because once the day starts, from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock onwards, our mode of passion keeps dominating. So many distractions, so many things, right? So yeah, it is difficult to focus.
But getting up during Brahma itself, practice, I would say.
Yeah, it's a humongous task. It's not easy.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I always think to wake up, but then you don't wake up.
Yeah,
I forget about what that is, but waking up 5 o'clock is so difficult.
yeah,
But what Prabhupada said, that's the main issue too, is I run away very quickly. I don't even know when I run away.
yeah,
Coming back, days, by the time meeting, it's already past half an hour or 1 hour.
yeah,
And the time goes.
yeah. So here is a small technique that people can follow is you make baby steps for the process of waking up early, right? Like 5 minutes early. So you practice that for 1 month, and then next month another 5 minutes, and so on. So the body needs its own time to adjust the body clock. So small intervals can help. Yeah. 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 So yeah. So Madhuri, going back to your questions, right? Yeah, it's all about practicing. So following this process of Krishna consciousness, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So you hear, hearing includes reading also. Hearing and reading scriptures, and then Kirtanam and Smaranam. Kirtanam is glorifying, the chanting either by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra or singing some Kirtans. And then you will develop Smaranam. Smaranam is remembering. So before Smaranam comes Shravanam and Kirtanam. So reading scriptures and chanting. Then you will be able to achieve the process of Smaranam. Everything starts with Shravanam. That's the first and foremost process. In the 9 stages of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, it starts with Shravanam. With Shravanam, you get convicted to chant. With Shravanam, you develop faith on Krishna. With Shravanam, you develop determination to remain in this process. And when these two things, when the first 2 things are going fine, then it's very easy to do the Smaranam of God. Because whatever you chant, that only you will remember, right? If you chant Coca-Cola, then you will remember that only. So if you chant Krishna's name, you will remember Krishna's name. Yeah. Okay. Now coming back to our actually. Hi Venugopal, how are you?
Hi Prabhuji, I'm good. Joined late.
That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, everyone remember this 2.50 art of work. If somebody asks you what is art of work, 2.50. And art of dying, what is art of dying? Which shloka is that?
That chapter is there.
Huh? Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. Yeah. 8.4 and 5. 2 shlokas. 8.4 and 5. Art of dying. Okay, now let's go to our verse today, 2.6. And when it is mentioned, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, right? So if we do Shravanam and Kirtanam in the association of devotees, only then you'll be able to see the benefits. If you sit alone in a room and you're not regularly meeting devotees, you're not regularly coming to the temple, then it is impossible. So that's also important. The first two processes, Shravanam and Kirtanam, has to be done in the association of devotees. Yeah. So 2.6, chapter 2, shloka 6. So who is saying this? Arjuna, right? Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna Uvacha. Na chaitat vidmaha kataranno gariyo. Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuho. Yaneva hatva na jijivishamas. Teva stita pramukhe dhartarashtraha. Okay. So, Naresh, you want to read? Nachaitat vidmaha kataranno gariyo. Yadva Yaneva hatva Okay, Ashok. Achaitat vidmaha kataranno
Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyo.
Yadva
Yaneva hatvana jijivishamas. Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Okay, Madhuri.
Okay, Prabhuji. Nachaitat vidmah kataranno gariyo. Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Yaneva hatva na jijivishamaha. Devastitaah pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Hey, Rahul.
Nachaitat vidma kataranno gariyo. Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Yaneva hatva na jijivishamas. Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Okay, Swati.
Na chaitat vidma kataranna gareyo. Yadva jayamaya yadivano jayeyu. Yan eva hatva jijitsvasmas. Devastita pramukha
Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Okay, Kiran.
Na chaitadvidma kataranno gariyo.
Na
Chaitadvidma kataranno gariyo.
Yadva jayema yadiva no jayehu.
Yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyuhu.
Yaneva hatva najisvamasa.
Yaneva hatva na jijivishamas.
Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
Okay, Venugopal.
Chaitadvidma Katarana
Na
Chaitadvidma kataranno gariyo.
Yadva Jayemaya Divano Jayeyu.
Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu.
Yaneva Hatva na Jijiva Samas.
Yaneva hatva na jijivishamas.
Devatishta Pramuke Dhata Rashtra.
Devastitha pramukhe dhartarashtraha.
You want to try, Kirti? Okay, maybe next after a few classes. Yeah. Sure. Okay, the word for word translation. Okay, let me share. Now, nor, cha, also, etad, this, vidma, do we know?
Katarat.
One second, something is blocking here.
Sorry, Prabhupada.
Yeah, katarat, which, na, for us, gariya, better, yatva, whether, jayema, we may conquer, yadi, if, va, are, na, us, jayeyu, they conquer, yan, those who, eva, certainly, hatva, by killing, na, never, jiji vishamaha, we would want to leave, te, all of them, avastita, are situated, pramukhe, in the front, Dhartarashtra, the son of Dhritarashtra. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to leave. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Okay. Purport. Swati, you want to read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Arjuna did not know whether he should fight and risk unnecessary violence, although fighting is the duty of a Kshatriya, or whether he should refrain and live by begging. If he did not conquer the enemy, begging would be his only means of subsistence. Nor was there certainty of victory, because either side might emerge victorious. Even if victory awaited them, and in brackets, and their cause was justified, still, if the sons of Dhritarashtra died in the battle, it would be very difficult to live in their absence. Under the circumstances, that would be another kind of defeat for them. All these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of Lord, but he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. His desire to live by begging, although he was born in the royal household, is another sign of detachment. He was truly virtuous, as these qualities combined with his faith in the words of instruction of Sri Krishna, his spiritual master, indicate. it is concluded that Arjuna was quite fit for liberation. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge, and without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. Arjun was competent in all these attributes, over and above his enormous attributes in the material relationships.
Arjuna was competent in all these attributes over and above his enormous attributes in his material relationships. Yeah. Okay. So here Arjuna is asking Krishna, now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to leave, yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So now Arjuna has a lose-lose situation here. So in life, in every walk of our life, we always look for win-win situation. That means something should be beneficial for the other person. At the same time, it should be beneficial to me also. If I do anything, it should be beneficial to both parties. That is win-win situation. And sometimes it can be win-lose, lose-win situation. So one person wins, the other person loses. But here, what Arjuna is facing is a lose-lose situation. So Arjuna is a great archer. He is capable of killing the army on the other side. But what he is saying is, even if we kill the people on the other side, we should not care to leave. Because they are all his near and dear ones. And they're the people who are worthy of his worship. So his grandfather Bhishma, Dronacharya, teacher Dronacharya, they are the worthy of worship. And then all his cousins. Without their absence, how can he enjoy the kingdom? We discussed this in chapter 1. What was that reason?
4 reasons.
Yeah, second reason, loss of enjoyment. Loss of enjoyment. Yeah. So when Arjuna was giving the second reason in chapter 1, loss of enjoyment, even if we win the kingdom, I cannot enjoy it without the presence of my kinsman. So anything anything that we can enjoy in this life, right? We can only do that in the presence of our kinsmen, family members, friends, neighbors. That's how the things are in today's age, right? Everything that we do, we want to show off on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, everywhere. So even small things, that they show on social media, because people don't get happiness without that. People have forgotten the human interactions, and they have only adapted to interacting with objects and social media. So that is their platform of happiness. If they post something about a small thing that they have done, they get happiness. So here Arjuna is saying the same thing, right? If we kill the other army on the other side, how can I enjoy without their absence, without their presence? So it's a lose-lose situation. He's losing his kinsman. I mean, assuming that the Pandavas win the victory and they're all killed, the Kauravas are all killed. That's a loss. Losing all the kinsmen is a loss. At the same time, he cannot enjoy the kingdom. That's another loss. So it's a lose-lose situation for him. So in that situation, he is asking, what is better? He's saying, now do we know which is better? Killing them or being conquered by them? And he's saying, if it is better for me to beg rather than killing my own people. Prabhupada explains in the purport, these are all saintly qualities. Like compassion for his own, kinsmen is a saintly quality. As Krishna describes in chapter 13, 8 to 12, those five shlokas, Krishna describes what are the qualities of a saintly person. It starts with humility, and then Krishna tells compassion, tolerance, non-violence, and so on. In purport, Prabhupada is saying here, the qualities that Arjuna is exhibiting, they are qualities of a saintly person. And he is perfectly fit for liberation. Perfectly fit for liberation.
He's choosing to be, he's rather doesn't want to kill his own man, that rather he wants to be.
He wants to beg. He wants to live by begging.
But he thinks that this is much easier because it is what he is going to go through, not other things.
Yeah, he's not killing them and he's not becoming the cause of their death. So rather, he would just go and live by begging. Now, for a Kshatriya, great Kshatriya like Arjuna, to start living by begging is a great renunciation. Renunciation means detachment. So detaching from your assets, detaching from your family. So that's renunciation. Like the sadhus live, right? Saintly life, the renunciation life. So now for a Kshatriya like Arjuna, it's a great, Prabhupada is saying here, that's another sign of detachment. Even though he's not required to take up renunciation, but Prabhupada is highlighting that point that it's a quality of Arjuna that he's exhibiting sign of detachment. So sign of detachment, the compassion, all these are saintly qualities.
What Arjuna is saying, if in this what is it means that we need to get into that, adapt that community. But that isn't easy as it said, because when someone is looking at purposefully, like you should be
Yeah.
they were constantly testing their patients. It was not the first time, right? They had these children there doing this, like for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Until Mahabharata came, it was not the first time we are going to fight with you. It was like they tested their patients again and again and again.
Yeah.
So that's not easy.
They even tried to kill Pandavas.
Yeah, right. That's not the first time they did it.
Yeah.
Mahabharata came like that's it, right? But at that point of time too, it's not easy what Arjuna was trying to say for that person. Like we know that most of the times ideas are never also take advantage of.
Yeah.
And when he says that's it, it's not easy to say that I would suffer rather making others suffer. How does we?
So basically, he's making is making bargain of the best options that he has.
I can bear being the better, but I cannot bear being troubling them.
Yeah.
In spite of them trying to stay in the schools and very badly the situation they get.
Yeah.
By taking their advantage. Right? That's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but now he has two options in his front, right? Either killing them or abandoning.
Trying to be good with someone.
Yeah.
Who has misused every opportunity to beat them to rectify.
Yeah.
It's not like that's what I'm saying. This was not done. Oh, you did that this time and you didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Because I felt when I read about Mahabharata, Pandavas were being tested multiple times. And then they gave up. They lost the patient. It's done. Because what the Duryodhana and his brothers done is never be done by within the family. Right?
Yeah.
Why do we need to be why Arjuna chose to be a Kshatriya when the other person, even though they were given a multiple opportunities, they never tried to be human.
Mhm.
Why is that he chose this now?
Why did Arjuna choose to be Kshatriya?
Not Kshatriya, means chose more suffering for him than for the other person who is opposite to them, who are not being right to them from the beginning. They came to this situation.
Because his calculation is, Arjuna's calculation is, if he kills his own kinsman, that's going to cause more suffering to him than if he chooses to start living by begging. Yeah.
Like in the Prabhupada.
So when he's, when Arjuna is in this confusion.
It's if I hurt myself more,
Yeah.
really is coming.
Yeah.
That is not his value.
Yeah.
Which is not meeting his value.
Yeah. So now Arjuna's situation here is, so even though he's a pure devotee and friend of Krishna, but Krishna has put him under illusion so that Krishna can speak Bhagavad Gita and teach this lesson to all of us through the via medium of Arjuna.
And one more
Now,
also in the first chapter.
Yeah.
So I think based on the verses, Arjuna did not expect to fight with Bhishma and Drona.
Yeah.
Arjuna asked Krishna, show me who came to fight.
Yeah, take this chariot in the middle of the battlefield.
So he didn't expect. So then Krishna take that in front of
Bhishma and Drona.
Pitamaha and Drona. Who Krishna knows his sensitive points.
Oh, so his problem here is not hurting Duryodhana and his son. He was more worried about Bhishma and
when they saw, then
even Duryodhana and Pati also, because they are cousins only, right? Even though they have taken Adharma path, but they are his cousins. They are his cousins. Yeah, he's definitely concerned about killing Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev, but he's also concerned about killing his own kinsman. Yeah. In the first chapter, he calls out each and every relation in the other party. He tells cousins, maternal uncles. He literally calls each and every relation on the other side. So he's concerned about everyone. Yeah.
he didn't expect those many
fighting
against him.
Yeah. But yeah, his calculation was he will suffer more if he kill them than he withdraws from the battle and then starts living by begging. Yeah.
like he was ready to have more suffering than go against his values. That's what my understanding is.
Yeah, no. Because his calculations are like a material calculations only, materialistic calculations only. So even though he's a completely elevated person and fully realized, self-realized person, but because Krishna has put him in illusion, he's calculating like a materialistic person like us. Yeah. So Prabhupada is saying, because Arjuna is exhibiting these qualities, Arjuna is quite fit for liberation. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. Yeah. So any points from anyone on this?
So what does this sentence mean? Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. What does that?
Yeah. So if you look at, in later verses, Krishna explains the anatomy or hierarchy of the different components of human life. Okay. So human life consists of body, mind, soul, and false ego. And within body, there are senses, the 5 senses, the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to taste, the ability to touch, and the ability to smell. These are the 5 senses. And above senses is mind. Mind is also part of the senses, it's like a sixth sense. You can consider it. It has sixth sense. Mind is higher than the five senses, and higher than mind is intelligence. Higher than intelligence is false ego. Higher than false ego is soul. That's the hierarchy. So now the first step to gain knowledge is to control senses. So you have to start addressing from the bottom. So when you control senses, then you are ready to receive knowledge. Let's say there is a situation in your life, and instead of slowing down and instead of introspecting and understanding why the situation is happening, why am I put in this situation? Now, instead of doing that, if you get agitated and then if you get angry and then respond or react abruptly or aggressively, then you're not going to gain anything out of that situation. Rather, you will hurt yourself more. You will be the cause of making that situation, becoming more worse than what it was before. So if you control your senses, that means if you take a step back, as they say, right, before you respond, you take a deep breath. So taking deep breath is what? Controlling your senses, controlling your mouth first of all. Before you say anything, take a deep breath, you count 1 to 10, and then you speak. So when you keep senses in control and start introspecting, and when you are ready to receive, then you will gain knowledge. Yeah. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. So that part is very clear. Without knowledge, there's no chance of liberation. Without knowledge, you do not know who you are. Without knowledge, you do not know who God is. Without knowledge, you do not know what's the relationship between you and God. Yeah.
You need to first have control on your
Control on the senses. Yeah. See here, Arjuna's situation was, so he saw all of his kinsmen, Duryodhana and party, coming to fight against him. Now, instead of getting agitated and he's a great Kshatriya, right? So he can kill all of them if he really wants to do that. But instead of getting agitated and getting fired up as a great Kshatriya, so he took a pause and then he was introspecting. What is best for me to do? Killing them or being conquered by them? Or begging, living by begging. So when you keep your senses in control, then you're ready to receive knowledge. And that's what happened to Arjuna, right? He received knowledge from Krishna. Yeah. No, he was overwhelmed with his emotions. No, emotions are different. Senses, no, he could not control his emotions. Because of overwhelming emotions only, he decided not to fight. Yeah. So he has that miserly weakness of the heart towards his kinsmen. Compassion, out of compassion.
Maybe out of context, I'm taking up everyone's time.
Yeah.
But I always have this why Mahabharata was only being told to Arjuna, whether because he's not the main king. Dharmaraja was the main king, right? Why was Arjuna had this agitation, but not other food?
Why Arjuna had what?
This agitation, right? Whether to fight or not fight. The war was not about his opinion, right? There are other 4 Pandavas too.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have this feeling? Or it was just Arjuna was decision, that's the reason Krishna was supporting him? Why?
So
I always get confused. Like why only Arjuna was given importance? Why not the other 4? Didn't they have any?
No, if you ask Bhima, then he'll be ready to jump and kill anyone. Bhima is a mighty warrior, right? And so he's ready, he's ready to kill anyone.
But I Dharmaraja was also a very down-to-earth person, right? Why he was ready to fight the sun?
So on the Pandava side, among all the Pandavas, Arjuna was the greatest archer. Okay, he's the greatest archer, and he's the best friend of Krishna. He's a devotee and best friend of Krishna. So that's why Krishna chose Arjuna as an instrument to teach Bhagavad Gita. He put Arjuna in illusion, and he's teaching Bhagavad Gita to all of us through via medium of Arjuna.
And also, Arjuna goes to Krishna for help. That's because of friendship. That's special friendship.
None of them goes to
None of it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because here Arjuna looked for enlightenment and help. That's the reason Krishna taught him Bhagavad Gita.
Because Arjuna asked for enlightenment. I mean, the later verses you will see, Arjuna says, now I am a soul surrendered to you. You instruct me what is best for me. So in the beginning, in the first chapter, Arjuna was only speaking like a learned Pandit, as if he is the advisor of God, as if he knows everything and what is good and what is bad. So his opinion was to abandon fighting and then either leave by begging or something else. But now he's coming to negotiation with Krishna. And then in the later verses, in the next couple of verses actually, Arjuna says, now I am a soul surrendered. You please instruct me what is good for me. Because Arjuna said that he is soul surrendered, then Krishna starts speaking.
Arjuna speaking, discussions between Krishna and Arjuna.
Some shlokas are spoken by Arjuna, some shlokas are spoken by Krishna. About 570 shlokas are spoken by Krishna. Out of 700, about 570 are spoken by Krishna, and remaining spoken by majority by Arjuna. Sanjaya speaks about 10 verses or so, and then Dhritarashtra 1 verse, like that. Yeah. So, okay, let's go to next verse. Yeah. So you go straight and right. Yeah. 2.7, long purport. Huh? Okay. So it's 6:58. So maybe we'll do it in the next class then. We can have some discussion.
That's the most important shloka.
Huh?
That's the most important shloka.
Yeah.
By heart.
Oh, did anyone memorize the shloka, the previous shloka? No? Okay. It's a long one, right? Difficult.
Yeah, long one, but I was not fully attended last week.
Okay. Yeah.
For me, it will
Maybe Madhuri memorized it.
all of a sudden it will come to me.
She's looking at the ceiling. That means she memorized.
Prabhuji, how do we pronounce this word Jijivashmas?
Jiji
Can you
Vishamas.
pronounce it?
Jiji Vishamas.
Jijivashamas.
Jiji
So
Vishamas.
from next time, can we read the shloka and go word by word first so that I can capture the ucharan before we decide? Okay, thank you.
Simple shlokas we can just recite fast, and
Okay, yeah.
difficult words like this, we can spend some time on that. Yeah. So any discussion on any shloka that we discussed so far or anything? Naresh Prabhu? Yeah, Madhuri is saying something. Yeah.
I mean, this week, something you just mentioned about senses taking over, or you mentioned, right? There are different stages of intelligence, and and
So
our senses control us a lot.
You had a fight with your husband?
No, then I would not have said this because you would have said sorry, right? By then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like one of the, I mean, this is tax filing season, right? So one of the one of the company's representative or someone like that was calling me
Yeah.
like repeatedly about using their company to file taxes this year, and it's like, I mean, I know it's his, I mean, he must have had some target, and I understand how it works in their in that kind of industry as well.
Yeah.
I have said that I'll upload it whenever I have time and once we get all the documents and stuff like that, but he was still very insistent on it, and he called me in the morning, even though it's not too early. It's like on a weekend he called, and in my sleep I just kind of I feel that I have been rude to him because he called me that early, and and I cut the call. And as soon as I cut it, I realized, okay, I mean, I woke up from my sleep maybe, and I realized, okay, I should not have been that rude to him, or like I immediately regretted, and I thought Krishna would punish me for this, or I would incur some karma or sin for this, and like it's a fear and guilt both included. Like, yeah, now that I'm reading all this, and now that I'm in the path, I'm like becoming very conscious about what I say or talk. Not that I was being rude before, but it was out of like I was still in half sleep, and I just
become more conscious of what you are doing now. Yeah.
But it felt immediate. I mean, I first felt guilt, and then then I realized like what I did, and there was a little bit of fear of what I would incur out of it, and of course I apologized to him later, but it's still bugging me a little bit about what I did, and consequences of it. So do you think I'll incur sin? A lot of sin out of it? Do you think I'll incur a lot of sin out of it?
No.
Karma,
The fact that you are aware of what you have done and you feel guilty about it, that itself is a first step in getting rid of your your karma, or that's the first step in correcting yourself, right? So Krishna looks at that. Sincerity, and then he will forgive you. Yeah. So don't think that
I don't know. It has to be said by someone like I feel as guru, rather than, because I was not able to convince myself that it would be okay.
So even on this, path of devotional service, right? When we Hare Krishna. So even on this path of devotional service, when we are practicing, when we are doing sadhana, right? So sometimes if we violate some of the principles, if we do things which are not supposed to be done, then the perfect solution is to feel guilty about it. That's the first step. To feel guilty about it. To feel guilty about it. For example, let's say somebody is not following one of the 4 regulatory principles. Okay. Let's take up gambling. Okay. So now you know that you're not supposed to be involved in gambling, whether it could be stock trading or going to casino or whatever. So we know that it's a prohibited act, but still, out of some weakness, let's say we are indulged in gambling. Now, the first step towards solution is to feel guilty about it. you feel guilty about it, then Krishna from within, he looks at your sincerity and he shows the way. So anything like that, whether in the process of devotional service or even in handling our day-to-day things in the materialistic life, if we do something wrong, the first step towards correcting that is to become guilty about it.
Being conscious.
To become conscious of the fact that okay, I did this thing, in a incorrect way. So either I go and apologize to him, or I will not repeat that mistake again. So before all those things happen, the first step that should happen is we should feel guilty about it. Yeah, and not everyone does that.
Stock traders is an investment, right? If you are investing in the company, what they are doing.
Yeah, no. So gambling is what? Gambling means speculating that if I put $100 on a stock today, tomorrow it will give me $200.
Okay.
That's a speculation. It's a gamble. Gamble means either you may win or you may lose.
But like if you are investing on house, it's also speculation. Like tomorrow I may sell it to this buyer, or I may give rent out of that. Isn't that an investment?
So the difference is it's a passive investment, whereas stock trading, if you are doing it daily like a day trader, that's an active trading. If you are doing active trading, then that's prohibited. But yeah, long-term investments are still okay. If you're investing in Apple today and then forget about it for next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, that's okay. Yeah, that's not gambling. Yeah, long-term investments are okay.
So like,
So basically the essence is, if you are spending too much of your time in that should be avoided. Yeah, whether trading or housing or anything.
which makes your blood pressure go high. That like things you should.
Yeah. Yeah, if you are a day trader, then the moment, yeah. Yeah. So,
Why gambling is bad? Is it because it creates some greedy in the person?
no, we discussed last week, right? All these 4 regulative principles, they are to protect the 4 virtues. And gambling, prohibition of gambling is to protect the virtue of truthfulness. When you're gambling, you are more inclined to make more profit, and in that process of making more profit, you tend to cheat. So then that virtue of truthfulness is gone. So to
like there is a rule for every casino. There is a rule of every casino that the house always wins. So there's this inherent kind of deception in it. And
yeah, I saw it on your blog actually.
Oh, thank you.
I saw it on your blog. Yeah, good. Yeah, the house always wins. Yeah. So they get the most of the money. That's why they're building big casino buildings and palaces. It looks like a palace actually. If you look at the Tulali casino when you are driving on that freeway, right? It looks like a big palace.
Yeah, it is to create an illusion that there is no day and night in there, so that once you go in there, you forget about whether it's what time it is, or whether it's day or night or what time. And it should be always like at the same all throughout the night or all throughout the day. So that's why they don't have any windows or outside light coming in.
Yeah.
To give you that perception. So it's that's their trick. Like they keep providing you alcohol or whatever, all the vices in there, so that you stay in there and forget about your own judgment and stuff.
Yeah. You forget yourself, you forget your senses, you forget the environment, and then just give all your money to them. That's their goal.
basically control. You're not in control.
Someone else's control. Yeah, they are controlling you. They are controlling you. Yeah. So,
Prabhuji, so we discussed about trading last week, right? So I had a question about business in general, Prabhuji. Like there is a concept of drop shipping going on in the US now. Like people buy $1 stuff from China and they sell here in the US for $100. And that's a very good business going on right now.
Okay, now I haven't heard of it. So what kind of products they bring here?
All kinds
Each and
of
every product, yeah, all kinds of products.
all
like,
those Amazon products that we see, like even yoga mats or whatever, they buy it from Alibaba for $1, but in a bulk, and they ship it here and store it in Amazon warehouse, and they sell it for like $20 maybe, or whatever, like price of that.
Yeah, so how do we look at business, Prabhuji, in general? Like how, if trading is like if we are doing trading and our virtue of truthfulness is going, so how do we look at business?
So business, see, the process of business is acquiring some goods for low cost and selling them for higher profit. That's the business.
So whatever they are doing is not wrong.
Is okay. Yeah, whatever commodities they are bringing. I mean, if they are quoting too much aggressive price, for out of greedy, if they're quoting too much aggressive price, instead of, see, yoga mat, $20 may be reasonable price for that. But if somebody is quoting $100 for that, yeah, then definitely that's cheating. That's definitely cheating. See, if they are bringing an item from China and they're spending some money on shipping and everything. So, and with a reasonable profit, you add $5 on top of everything and you sell it for profit. That's okay.
Like basically a reseller.
Yeah. That's the business, right? Any business, even in the traditional days also, olden days also, that's the concept of business. You acquire for less money and then you sell for more money. That's the business. Yeah. 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 So, yeah, I mean, as long as they are doing for reasonable prices, yeah, it's okay. The process is okay.
Speaking about prices, I work for the hardware team and
Yeah.
I've seen components for per unit price 0.5 cents or 0.1 cent or something, 1 cent.
Yeah.
And sometimes they consolidate these components and sell it for $150.
Yeah.
I'll
give you a classic example. I'll give a very classic example. See, in olden days, people had a toothbrush as neem tree stick, right? Now you go to Amazon and look up neem tree brush, neem tree toothbrush. So now they are selling it for, I don't know, $5 or $10. So available freely. Available freely. You go to India and then you bring a bag full of neem sticks with you. Or even in this country, there might be a place where you can find neem trees.
But that's not allowed.
Yeah, I mean the profit margin they are quoting is too high. Yeah. I mean, like it's not like a proper business nowadays, Prabhuji. Like in those days, they added maybe $5 over what they wanted to also live. They have to live and also make profit, right? So that was okay. But now the actual profit margin they are getting is much high, and they just adding because it's inflation or
based on prices. Yeah, it's very outrageous.
Particularly Amazon, because it's also the platform they use. I mean, in Walmart, it's a little bit lesser. Maybe you might find things because the platform itself charges a little bit less if they have to return or returned or damaged, or even to save in their warehouse and stuff, right? So, but Amazon itself charges much high price and for all that, and and it takes its own margin also.
Stop shopping on Amazon.
I don't like their, I mean, like the way they treat their employees is so bad. I don't feel shopping on Amazon. Like,
recently another friend also said the same thing. They stopped shopping on Amazon.
And it looks like it's like an Alibaba.com.
Yeah.
Every seller is from China or Chinese name.
Yeah.
All the product is like, some of them is manufactured in China.
Yeah.
But it looks like if I go to Alibaba.com and Amazon, there is no difference other than the UI. All the products are, sellers are all from there.
Yeah.
So I feel like that made in USA or something is lost.
Yeah. See, even in India, right? Small stuff. If you just step out of your house and buy it, you may get it for 10 rupees, 20 rupees. But people have become so lazy that they don't want to go out. And if they see something on Amazon, they just click, place an order. Even if it is 100 rupees. The thing that you can get in 10 rupees, if you get it in Amazon for 100 rupees, they are ready to do that. It's part of the problem is people are also, the consumers also. Because
also the brand name charges gets more money, I think.
Brand name and then the convenience of shopping online have made people lazy. So part of the problem is people also.
I mean, like once.
Prabhuji, I'll be dropping off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Karan. Yeah. See you next week. Yeah.
I mean, getting associated with the devotees has changed a lot of things. One is like the way how we look at things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to drink coffee whenever I go to Starbucks every day. Now it's like, okay, if I have to go, I have to take a lemonade. So that has changed.
Yeah.
Shopping on Amazon, okay, like their treating of their own employees is so bad.
Yeah.
It feels like you are encouraging the bad behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good start actually. Because there are so many other venues for shopping. You can go in person, or you can go to, some websites where they're not quoting aggressive prices. Yeah, you can explore avenues. Instead of exploring avenues, people have taken the easy path, Amazon. Yeah.
Coming to the point of, isn't that became the culture right now? Is what I have been observing these days is the guy who cheats. They are making him famous. Like, oh my God, he's so smart. Like, why is that behavior is being encouraged now? Like what I see is someone calling. They are not saying that. Like when our mother generation, if someone did bad, I used to see that there's a societal pressure on a person who has done bad.
Yeah.
But now what I see is the guy.
They're glorified.
Exactly. And something I always feel is, am I wrong? Because I feel I have seen so many things going on. I feel that that's wrong.
Yeah.
But there are people, like I am one, and there are 20 people who is glorifying. I get confused. Am I thinking wrong?
Yeah, they are glorified. That's the problem of Kali Yuga, right? People have lost the power to discriminate between good and bad. They don't have intelligence. Intelligence is the power to discriminate between good and bad. They have lost that.
I feel that people are not choosing that. Then, because they are very well aware this is bad, but still they want to glorify. Is it because to glorify what negatives they have? But I feel this is what I see a lot, and someone behaving, like for example, Tesla. I don't know if anyone Tesla fans here, but I felt whatever he has done with Twitter was immoral.
Yeah.
And people were glorifying Elon Musk for it. And I felt, what are they supporting? Like literally you fired a lot of Twitter employees.
Yeah.
It's because it didn't match with your ego. You just came down. Like for me, I thought he was foolish. He invested so much money in Twitter. he came and lost his own money. He's foolish for me. I felt foolish.
Yeah.
Because like I will not spend 100 whatever money on Twitter and make it down.
Yeah.
But all I felt is they were glorifying him.
Yeah. So two problems, right? Two problems. One is this lack of power to discriminate between good and bad, lack of intelligence. Second one is following the herd mentality. So if 100 people are doing something, okay, that must be true. That must be good, and it must be the way to go. Let me also do that.
But doesn't it?
It takes courage to swim against the, against the flow of the river.
But isn't the person who is trying to show courage are being trying to be stopped with this other 99 people? What I feel is whatever Twitter saying about us, right? No stopping whatever. I don't say he's good or whatever.
Yeah.
But I felt someone was trying to stand up and someone was trying to beat him up. And there were people supporting him to beat him up and trying to stand with him.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything. Like they are like either they are people, why do we care? Or the other person, they would be like glorifying them. I see people more glorifying and encouraging their behavior. Other people are afraid that tomorrow I may be one among them.
Yeah.
And how do I handle the situation? I don't see that fear because people are so used to saying okay for negativity. And I feel sometimes fearful is, especially being mother of kids, I always fear is like, what should I teach my kids?
Yeah.
Should I tell them good things where they will be troubled by being good?
Yes.
Or
always tell them good things. No matter how 100 people are, following the dharma, you always teach them dharma and moral values.
But are they not going to be troubled? Because for me, I feel is whenever that motivates me to even speak up sometimes is I don't think I am in a situation to handle the outcome which comes. I would rather sit back and keep quiet. Like I used to be very much rebellious before. Now I have started thinking is this my battle? Should I stand up or should I just keep quiet? Right? Then that comes to my point of view, like should I teach my kids where they're gonna suffer if they follow the model what I have? Or should I say them do what you feel right?
Yeah.
That's a confusion I always have. It's like looking at what's going on outside, what people are.
Yeah. See, a person who can sleep peacefully in the night is a person who maintains integrity. Integrity is what? Whatever he's speaking and whatever he's doing. If there is a synchronization between those two, then he can sleep peacefully. And a person who has lost integrity, of moral values, lost integrity of dharma, then he cannot sleep peacefully. So no matter how the entire world is, in what direction the entire world is moving, you always move in the path of dharma. You always teach your kids and you always follow dharma. And looking at you as an example, they will learn. They'll simply follow you.
Because a lot of people what other people will do, and sometimes that creates social discrimination, especially where that's more in our culture, where if you're not going to what you believe, then there's a lot of social discrimination. The moment the social discrimination of the person is downfall occurs, right? What I feel is people are more encouraging that to keep others quiet so that their own intentions are, or I just feel, like when you have your values in place, why do you need to be 25% for standing against your own thought process instead of just accepting it? Right?
So, if you have to speak about, let's say somebody is doing some wrong thing, right? And you see that, in order for you to speak against that, 3 things you always need to remember. Time, place, and circumstances. Desha, Kala, Patra. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Desha, Kala, patra, time, place, and circumstances. So the first and foremost thing is, do I have any authority here to tell against that person? And the time and the circumstances. Time, place, and circumstances. So you have to look at these three things and then speak. Sometimes you may see a person doing wrong things, and if it is affecting you, okay, then definitely you have to speak, because you have the authority. If it is affecting you, definitely you have the authorities. But let's say person X is speaking bad about person Y, and you are not an authority, you are not a guru of X, you're not a teacher of X, then you should keep quiet.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah, bite your tongue.
Yeah, that is something I should. Because every time my mother says, why do you care?
Yeah.
I step back and I'm like, that's wrong. But
Yeah.
I cannot change people's minds.
Yeah. But yeah, if somebody is hurting you, definitely you cannot keep quiet. You should not keep quiet. Yeah. You have to raise that up. Okay. So anything from anyone else? It's already. Yeah. No problem.
I have so many questions. Sorry if I disturb everyone.
No problem. So questions. Questions.
So
are
if you have,
for
you
knowledge.
have too many, I have one question.
You have one question? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, so you were saying one sentence, right, previously. We should know what is the correct path, and then we have to move forward in the correct path. For example, like path, hearing and then slowly cultivating this. But when I compared with other people, and then, you know, I somehow feel that I will become odd man out in between my friends and all.
Yeah, very good point.
I am one of those.
You also feel the same?
No. For me, Prabhuji, I'm influenced so much by Hari Vilas Maharaj's lectures.
Yeah.
I've clearly taken a stand. Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. It's not that what they do, but personally, in their personal life, they are not someone whom we need to consider.
Take them as role models.
Role model.
Yeah.
They are not.
Definitely not. Yeah.
And again, coming to speaking what is correct and what is not, again, it depends, like in friend circle, like I've stopped all those no meat eating and those things.
Yeah.
The association has cut down.
Yeah.
So my association with the devotees is more now. Coming to work, if it is right, you can say right.
Yeah.
It is wrong. But again, sometimes we have to use the polite way of conveying things.
Yeah.
But again, if it is right or wrong, we should take a stand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So coming back to Venugopal, right? No, why do you feel odd man out? Srila Prabhupada has established 108 temples when he was living, and now by his army that he has left behind, they have developed 1,000 temples or even more actually in the world.
So in this class, I'm not feeling problems. So outside of this class.
No, let me complete. Now, Srila Prabhupada has given so much of infrastructure, so many temples, so much of process of hearing and being in the association of devotees. So why are you choosing to be in the association of other people where you are feeling odd man out? Why don't you choose to be in this association where there are 100 devotees? Then you will not feel odd man out.
But you cannot cut the circle, right? You already have, like.
You cannot cut all of a sudden, but it can happen gradually. The progress on devotional service on this Bhakti Yoga path, it's a gradual process. It happens slowly. So now you may be having other friend circle. You cannot cut them down all of a sudden, but slowly, you know. And the way of cutting that association is by increasing this association. If you increase association on this side, This side means the association that is more beneficial to you. If you are convinced that this association of devotees is more beneficial to you, then you have to slowly increase associating with devotees. Just like how Ashok explained now, right? His association with devotees has increased. So if you do that, automatically your association with other karmi people will reduce. So I was also like that, right? I was living in Bellevue and we had so many friends there. And slowly over a period of time, now if I look back, sometimes I wonder, looks like I don't have any friends outside the temple circle. I have three, four friends. Occasionally we meet, but sometimes I feel like, I don't have any friends outside temple circle. So that will happen slowly.
Choose circle where you feel and where you are.
Where it is more beneficial for you, right? Which association is more beneficial? Yeah. So then you wouldn't feel odd man out. But yeah, no, even I also experience sometimes, like for example, if I have to, see, for me, it's easy to talk about Krishna consciousness in a circle like this. Now, if I have to talk about Krishna consciousness when I go to India to my relatives, right? So I'll feel odd man out. I'll feel odd man out. So yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to preach to the family members. That's why you keep quiet. You don't preach to them. You preach by example. You follow the process nicely, and seeing that you are happy following this process, they'll also follow this.
I have felt that too, Prabhuji, Gopal Prabhuji. In some circles, I feel that I'm not as welcomed or as included as in some other groups. So it might be your energies are different, your thought process are completely different from that group, and that could result in that kind of feeling that, yeah, you are the odd man out.
We don't indulge in all the activities that other people do, right?
Yes.
They welcome people who drink. They welcome people who eat meat. They welcome people who, who do gambling, all those things. And they welcome people who talk about nonsensical things all the time. Since we don't indulge in those things, we are not welcomed. So initially, our situation is like this. We are neither there nor here.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
When
That is difficult.
Start doing this social isolation, and I don't really understand why that a point when my ideology, why is that, okay, this person has to be discriminated, and how do we handle that discrimination? Because somewhere you start talking your own instinct, am I going in the wrong way? Is this, it's a battle between your values and what's outside, right? Like you are told, but that's what I feel, what going on outside is not what you are, and you cannot act up, like sometimes for some reason, if you're going in a circle for 1 hour, maybe you'll be acting like along with them, but that doesn't sustain. And the people, what I observed is, if your thought process doesn't match with their thought process, they don't only discriminate by themselves, but they encourage the other person beside them to discriminate to you, making you feel that you are wrong. That's what I observe. It's like, and what I think is, that's where my questions come.
So you feel you are influenced by them?
Because I can pressure.
Yeah.
We cannot be alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that getting in their shoes is much better.
Yeah.
Because the consequences are tougher. Because it just not affects you, it affects your kids, it affects everyone around you.
Yeah.
If you keep quiet.
So one solution to that is, so Kirti was saying that, we cannot cut down the social circle all of a sudden, and then sometimes we feel that we are left out, and under that pressure We are influenced that we are influenced to take their side or their association. So one solution that could be like you be with them, but externally you be with them, but internally you be detached. Internally you be detached. For the sake of children or whatever, right? For the family, the sake of family, you can be with them. You can be with the social circle, but internally you be detached. Internally, you know what is right and what is wrong, and you be very firm about that.
But the intermediate points come when you don't sleep well, right? That's what I struggle always is sometimes about someone is feeling bad about some certain situation. I sometimes now I started fighting my tongue a lot. The God will not come. But somewhere when I come back, it's like I should have stand up for this something bad happening. Because for example, I'm sorry, I don't hate him. I really like his ideology.
Yeah.
His work, but at personal level, I really don't like people taking as an example because I don't feel his personal life is perfect. Like someone having drugs and coming on conference call and people are like, making chill out of it, oh, he's on the drug always.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere we are giving an example to our kids and we can be successful. I don't feel him a right person.
Yeah.
And I think he's right person in technology perspective, his way of thinking.
Yeah.
But when people glorify his actions and behavior, I would stand up there and people would be like, oh, she's not my dog. And for me, I get scared. It's like, I cannot support this.
Yeah.
Either it's my kids or their kids. That's where I feel sometimes is, as you said, I am free on me now.
Yeah.
Because my values doesn't match with it. I see go to my book.
Yeah. See, there are things that you can change. There are things that you have control on and you can change. And there are things that you don't have control upon. So Elon Musk thing is an example where you don't have control upon. You cannot change. So
we cannot change him. But
yeah.
I get concerned if people glorify his actions.
Yeah. So then don't associate with those people. Even if you have to be with them in person, just be with them for the sake of being, for whatever task to be achieved, right? Just be with them, but don't be attached. Don't be attached to their ideologies. Don't be attached to their philosophy. So internally, strongly that this philosophy is the strongest. This philosophy is the best. So internally you have that conviction, and then externally you just be with them, but be detached. Yeah.
And just don't think that I'm but I'm just giving an example because it's a perfect example, I think.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other situations where I saw people encouraging someone to.
Yeah. So as they say, right? If you set small things right, then big things will fall in place. So whatever is within your purview, whatever is within your control, you set them right. If you do that, then the big things will appear to be falling in place. So I mean, definitely things that we cannot control, we cannot change. There's no point in even discussing, or there's no point in even talking about them. But whatever you are able to change, you are able to control, if you set those right, then the big things will automatically fall in place. So yeah. So yeah, Venugopal, I think you're just starting the journey, right? So in the beginning, you will feel like you are neither there nor here. So you're slowly developing friends in the temple also, right? So as you develop more friends here and you start participating in the temple festivals, all those things, and once your family also becomes fully inclined towards this process, then things will fall in place. Then over a period of time, you will want to come near the temple and start living here, and you will not even want to meet with other friends. You will not feel odd man out that time.
Okay.
Gopal Prabhuji, for example, I was invited to go for a movie right now, but I chose to sit in this class.
Yeah,
But
see?
like months ago, a few months ago, I would have been in your position, like thinking I would have enjoyed that movie if I had attended it. But
Yeah,
right now, I don't feel even a 1% thing that I am missing out a movie
yeah,
or anything of that sort, because I know it's a it's a temporary thing,
yeah,
a movie experience. But this class is what I chose to do. So yeah,
yeah.
you may like get to this point in a few months. I was there back, so yeah, can give you
Yeah.
that.
Until you start taking a stop, you don't start taking it seriously. I mean, even I was there in same situation a few months back, or yeah. Um, I mean, if there was anything else like a movie or visiting a friend or something like that, I would skip the class. But now I prioritize the class first, and then once you start taking the benefits of it, you want to be in more association of in the association of it more rather than yeah, going for other engagements.
Yeah, and I sincerely appreciate all of you, Madhuri, Rahul, Venugopal, Swati, Ashok, and now Kirti started joining. So Kiran, all of you, unless there is something that you cannot avoid, you definitely come to the class, and this itself is a big achievement. Sincerely being in this association, I learned something from all of you, and you learned something from me. So this is how we grow together. It's not like I'm teaching anything new here. So whatever Srila Prabhupada has said, we are all repeating like a puppet. So I'm learning something from you, and we are all learning something from that I tell. So, yeah, thanks for it.
I could read this in India. Someone gave me. This is the first time I read, and I was so happy being.
Very good, very good. Yeah. So more the merrier, more the merrier. So we need more people like you.
I asked so many questions. I hope you are there.
Yeah, no, questions are the basis for all our discussion. Bhagavad Gita was spoken because of Arjuna's questions. Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken because of questions. Ramayana was spoken because of questions. Everything starts with a question. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next week. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.